What's going on, YouTube?
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into our channel.
I'm Ty.
I'm Katie, TikTop Travel, and today we're headed to Albania.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Yes, I'm super excited.
We've done an Albania video?
No, we have a lot to learn. No.
Yes.
But we did just check out Albania's entry for Eurovision 2022.
Right. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so if you want to watch our reaction to that, it's on our other channel, tktoptunes.
tktoptunes.
Where we react to music, and we're covering Eurovision this whole year.
Yes. So if you like Eurovision and music, check out our other channel.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. But if you like travel, you're in the right spot. Let's go. Albania.
Here we go. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too. Wait, I got to pull it up.
There it is.
There it is. All right.
All right. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. If you're ready, hit the like button. Here we go.
Let's go.
You know how in high school there's always like that one little emo kid that just kind of keeps to themselves and sits in the corner, but then about 10 years later at the reunion you find out they actually have a lot of friends and they're pretty cool? That's kind of like what Albania is.
It's time to learn geography.
Now you know the drill. Before anything, let's dissect that flag.
Oh yeah, I like this.
Oh yeah.
In the older ones. He doesn't do that in the
As you
newer
can see,
ones.
the Albanian flag is actually pretty simple. It's just a red banner with a double-headed eagle emblem on top of it. The red representing bravery and courage, and the double-headed eagle is an emblem that the Albanians have claimed that they have historically used to identify themselves as a people group, even though there may be some other countries that would argue.
Oh, wow.
Really?
That was the same exact eagle.
In terms of its political geography, Albania is located in the South Balkan region, right north of Greece, south of Montenegro, west of Macedonia, and Kosovo, even though Serbia will tell you that Kosovo is totally not Kosovo and it's just part of Serbia, but we'll discuss that in another video, and off the coast of the Ionian and the Adriatic Seas. Now when it comes to Albania's borders, it almost kind of looks like every single country surrounding Albania is trying to take as much coastline away as they can from Albania. In the south, Greece is like, I'm just gonna take these extra 10 miles of beach. In the north, Montenegro's like, I'm just gonna take the entire Buna River.
Wow.
And even inland, Macedonia is like, I'm just gonna take the majority of the Prespa and Ohrid lakes and access to those lakes.
Oh my gosh.
Albania doesn't really get much regard. Now, unlike many of its neighbors that border the Mediterranean, Albania doesn't really have many islands that border its coastline. In fact, there are only about 7 to 10-ish islands, most of which are small, uninhabited, or barely inhabited, like Tombo and Stilo Island in the south, which each only have one house on them, and most of the other ones are basically barely even the size of an IKEA. However, a lot of them do have a lot of cool historical ancient sites and landmarks on them, such as Ali Pasha Castle on Butrint and the 13th century monastery on Svedes Island, except for one, Sazan Island. Sazan Island has actually played a very crucial role in Albania's history. It was taken over by the Romans, and then the Byzantines, and the Ottomans, and the Greeks, and the Italians, and the British, and the Greeks, but the Greeks didn't want it again, so they gave it to the Italians. And then the Italians finally gave it to Albania. It's a long story. To this day, Sazan Island is the only somewhat inhabited island, as the people living there are only there to maintain the former military bases that were built. In terms of its physical geography, Albania is about 70% mountainous, with about 25% of the land being arable for agriculture and farming, which, by the way, is a sector that employs about half of the entire population of Albania. Albanians take their agriculture very seriously. In fact, for a while, they were completely closed off from the rest of the world and self-reliant. In addition to fruits and vegetables and other produce, one thing that Albanians really like to grow?
Unbelievable.
Tobacco. They just do. Now, Albania is also loaded with a bunch of other types of landscapes, like rolling green hills and lush forests, and very nice warm temperate beaches, such as the ones at Samil and Durrës. Speaking of which, interesting factoid, if you go to Albania, pretty much everywhere around the entire country, you'll notice these World War II concrete war bunkers located everywhere. The reason being because in the middle of the 20th century, the old communist leader Enver Hoxha took over and built these war bunkers, about 700,000 of them, and placed them all over the country as a means for militaristic preparation. Now, of course, that costed the country a lot of money that they pretty much didn't have, and it was a poor investment because they never really needed them. However, to this day, it's almost like a little I Spy game. When you go to Albania, see how many bunkers you can find.
Oh, wow.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of its demographics, about 85%, the vast majority of people in Albania identify as ethnically Albanian. Now, there are some minorities like Greeks and Macedonians and Montenegrins as well. The vast majority of people in Albania also speak the Albanian language, which is one of the most distinguishable facets of this country. The Albanian language to this day relates to no other Indo-European language branch in the world.
Oh, really?
It stands alone as its own, and it's a very unique language. Albania also has a very interesting faith-based background. About 60% of the people identify as non-denominational or secular Muslim, and about 20% identify as Christian, mostly Catholic or Orthodox. Although historically, Albania at one point banned all religious freedom and was declared the very first atheist state in the entire world during the communist regime until 1992. Interesting side note, in Albania they shake their head to say yes and they nod their head to say no.
Really? No. Yeah.
The friend zone.
That feels
This is where
weird.
things get a little interesting because historically, Albania has probably been one of the most socially awkward countries in the world. Shortly after Albania was relinquished from the Ottoman Empire, Albania kind of went through a few decades of not exactly quite knowing how to be Albania again. And that's when the Soviets came in. For a while, Albania was part of the Soviet bloc. However, during the Sino-Soviet split, which is something we will discuss all that drama in another video, Albania actually decided to side with China and not Russia, which strategically may have been a bad decision. The reason being because that made China Albania's only ally in the world. And it can get kind of hard when your only ally in the world isn't even close to you geographically.
Yeah,
and to add on
right.
top of that, in the 70s, China was kind of like, look, Albania, it was cute how you wanted to tag along, but you're on your own. And then Albania had no allies. In the last few years of communism and following the death of Enver Hoxha, Albania kind of saw what was going on and they were like, yeah, we kind of need to turn things around. And finally, in 1990, the communism regime ended, making Albania a constitutional republic. This opened up a lot of doors. And from the 90s up until today, Albania has become one of the most social countries in the world, opening up its arms, trying to regain as many diplomatic relations as it can with as many countries.
Wow,
and to this day,
1990.
it has about
That's not that
40
long
embassies
ago.
in 40 different countries. Albania is not a social butterfly. Albania is a social pterodactyl. They even named a street after George W. Bush after he visited there one time in 2007. Interesting side note, there's an early episode of The Simpsons in which Bart signs up for a foreign exchange student program and goes to France, whereas the Simpson family receives an exchange student named Adil from Albania. The episode was filmed in 1990, right before the fall of communism in Albania, and lightly portrays the tensions between Americans and Soviet-influenced nations back in that time. In terms of its best friend, Albania would probably consider Kosovo their best friend, considering that the vast majority of people in Kosovo are Albanians. Gotta support your brothers. In conclusion, Albania may have been that little reserved, quiet kid, and yeah, maybe they made a few bad decisions here and there historically, but they really started to turn things around, and you gotta give that for them. Stay tuned, Algeria
Nice.
is coming up next.
That was a short one.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we got a little info on that.
Yeah,
Definitely
for sure.
good geography.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it's in the Baltics. It's all in that region.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'd like to learn more.
Yeah,
like
those-
more about the culture, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Those
Those early videos.
those bunkers were really interesting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there
Where
was a
were
ton
they?
of them. What'd they say, 7,000 of them or something?
Something like that. I can't find it now. Of course. I
It's
feel
like
like
up towards the beginning.
every time.
I don't know. It was in there somewhere.
Yeah, it was in there somewhere.
Yeah. Wow.
And then it's like I want to find it.
Yeah, it's nuts how much of, in the beginning, he was saying that, like, Greece took their water lines and then,
Oh, right.
like, Montenegro, and
Yeah.
it just seemed like it kept getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, here it is. The bunkers.
Oh, there it is. 700,000. Oh, my
Oh
gosh,
my
I thought it said
gosh.
7,000.
700,000.
Oh, my gosh.
That and then there's one like right here.
Right, probably everywhere. Wow.
Yeah. That was really interesting.
Huh, interesting.
Nice.
Sweet.
Well, good video.
Yeah, good video. Let us know more about Albania in the comments down below. What should we know? What do we need to learn? And thanks for watching this video.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if it's your first time coming across our channel and checking out one of our videos, please give us a quick subscribe.
And hit that notification bell to stay up to date because we come out with videos every single day. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See ya.